So here, Brady. We'll watch him through a couple times at normal speed, looking for indications of breaks in the kinetic chain, anything we might pick up that we can improve simply picking up a few miles an hour velocity. One of the big things we see, Brady, if you remember the other night, we talked a lot about the concept of segmented rotation, where we see each segment of the body, the lower half, then the hips, then the trunk, then the shoulder, all rotating one after the other. What we see with you, it's not all that untypical or uncommon, I guess, is we see everything coming through at one time. So as we'll start at the top of the leg kick. As you start moving towards home plate, it really starts with that front hip kind of opening up right there. You'll see the arms already cocked, but the big telltale sign here is we see the back hip and foot hasn't done anything yet. So what we would hope to see right about here is the lower half, the legs, and then the hips starting to fire at this point, especially as we get right into landing. But what you're going to see is kind of this just a little subtle push forward. So we get into landing, but there's still no opening of the hips. And you see the arms already up into position at this point, and everything rotates through at the same rate. So what you're losing there, if you remember that speed principle we talked about, where each phase, each segment that rotates one after the other picks up more and more speed, thereby creating more force on the baseball, and that's basically what you're losing. The other thing that shows us that we can really improve this weight shift here is you'll look at landing. Okay, so if we look at your front foot, we notice that even at landing, see how your toes are actually still up a little bit? So that tells us there's still a lot of weight actually still back here. Okay, the one slide I showed you guys, the Strasberg slide, showed us that approximately 200% of our body weight should be landing on that front side, which means we have to have a significant weight shift going down the mount. You're kind of easing into it. Okay, you see the heel, then the toe, and what you're going to see that creating is if we were to draw a line here at your knee at landing, remember we want to make sure we have that strong, stable front side. Okay, so if we look at that knee, what you're going to see by kind of easing into landing is this continual push forward, and then we drift right on through. And I guess for lack of a better word, we want that point right there, we want that to be the axis of our rotation. In other words, that's going to stop, and we're going to rotate around that side. And you just kind of ease right on through it, kind of like running right through a stop sign. You kind of slow down, quickly check both ways, and then you blow right on through it. Okay, we want that to be a stop, and then this area rotates around that. So a couple of drills I want you to work on over the next few days. Okay, let's go ahead. Drill one. Let's get both feet, okay, open towards home plate. So where your front foot is, right here, pointing right towards home plate. Let's make sure we're strong and stable on that side. And we're going to go ahead and get this back foot, okay, we're going to go ahead and get it so that your back shoelaces are pointing towards home plate. Now your heel can actually be on the ground, okay, you can cheat the foot up, as close wherever you're comfortable. The main emphasis on this drill is I want both feet open towards home plate. Okay, and what that's going to do is have the hips open towards home plate. That's the starting point with the lower half. The upper half, I want you to start about right here. Okay, so glove sides up, arms going into that high cock position. Okay, so remember, lower half's already here, weight stable on the front side, just like we did that stable front side drill the other night. Okay, hips are open, upper body's closed. And from that point, all I want you to do is rotate the hips around, let the arm roll back, and go forward. So we're starting lower half open, upper half closed. Okay, just get a little rhythm going with the arms and then just rotate through. And what we want to do is make sure this side is staying stable. Really feel those hips rotating around. Okay, so that's drill 1. Drill 2, we're going to work on improving this weight shift. So if you remember the drill we did where we jump, okay, so basically you start facing, that way, facing the bleachers. You're going to do a 180, turn, land, and as soon as this back foot hits the ground, okay, as soon as we land, feet close together, our back foot is going to drive our body that way. Okay, so we jump, do a 180, land, backside drives us forward as the arm's getting ready to throw. And then you're going to end the exact same way you were doing the previous drill. Stable front leg, feel everything rotating around it. Okay, so our hands don't break until we start driving forward. So those are the 2 drills. You can do those, you can practice without even using a baseball. It's basically strong, stable front side and getting the backside moving. Those are the 2 drills. So let me know if you have any questions on those, and work on that over the next few days, and I'll see you next week. All right?